Shalom, here are your daily words of inspiration. The Chafetz Chaim was a great rabbi who lived in the early 1900s in a place called Radin, Poland, a small little town. He made his living by having a small grocery store, which he kept open until he made enough money for that day to live on. The Chafetz Chaim was a great man. His real name was Rabbi Yisrael Meir Kagan. He was called the Chafetz Chaim after is a nickname that he earned after the publishing of his first book called the Chafetz Chaim that dealt with the laws of Loshon Hara, of speaking derogatorily about other people and gossiping. And in that book, the Chafetz Chaim wrote about how whenever a person hears or is aware that somebody else is planning to harm somebody, either emotionally, physically, or financially, they have an obligation, not a choice. They have an obligation to warn the person that's about to be harmed that they're facing harm. Now, the problem is that the Chafetz Chaim also wrote that it's forbidden to believe derogatory information when you hear it. When you hear Loshon Hara, you're not allowed to believe it. So what's a person to do when they're warned that somebody is about to harm them? They've just heard Loshon Hara. They've just heard somebody say something negative about somebody else, derogatory about somebody else, and that's forbidden. So the Chafetz Chaim comes up with this answer that it's permitted for you to suspect the person that is going to harm you, but you can't believe in your heart of hearts, you can't believe that that person's a bad person and they're actually planning on doing anything bad. That is not allowed. That's forbidden. So imagine somebody tells you that you're going to a party that night and somebody's planning on pickpocketing you, stealing your wallet. So when I see that person at the party, I have to think to myself, that person is a perfectly okay person. But at the same time, as they get close to me, I can keep my hand on my wallet to make sure it's not stolen. That principle of suspecting but not believing is the presumption of innocence, something that thousands of years later would be codified in the American Constitution. But the Jewish people, the Torah, had it thousands upon thousands of years before, and you should feel privileged that you're part of that people that had the great wisdom to know that we always must presume that somebody else is innocent until there's evidence that they've done something wrong. Those are your daily words of inspiration. Be inspired by the wisdom and the system that you're a part of. Have a great day. Shalom.